Coming right up, Straight Talk with Art Levine. Our guest tonight, head women's volleyball coach at Long Beach State, Brian Gimmillaro, as we continue our 23rd anniversary year.
Straight Talk is brought to you in part by the Port of Long Beach, a leader in international trade and environmental stewardship. And the Press Telegram, your local news leader for over 100 years. And Scan Health Plan, for your health and independence.
Join us for tonight's edition of Straight Talk. And now your host, Art Levine.
Good evening and welcome to Straight Talk. We have a great show for you tonight. Our guest for the entire show is the head women's volleyball coach at Long Beach State, our friend Brian Gimmillaro. Coach, welcome back.
Thanks, Art. Thanks for having me.
You bet. 16-0 this year in the Big West. Not too shabby.
Sometimes you get lucky.
Well, you have an incredible record, which we'll talk about later, but just walk us through this past year's season.
Well, we ended up 27-5 as a team. We won the Big West Conference. We went to the NCAA tournament. We were fortunate enough to win the first round, and then we lost in the second round. But there was something beautiful about the second round. We lost. It was up at UCLA. And if you hate losing, it's the end. It's very difficult to know your season is over for the entire staff.
Well, it happens to every team, but 1 out of 64.
Yeah, there's 340 teams, and so
okay.
Only one. So, but that's really still hard to understand. Yeah. Athletes and coaches never really understand that. You're always prepared to win.
So it's not winning or losing, but how you play the game. That doesn't really.
The one thing I took away from it, there was two things I took away from it. One is we're at UCLA, a prestigious school, and 3/4 of the crowd was from Long Beach. And
really?
Yes. And
that's nice.
That says something about our community. Like you've always said about our community. How do you say it? We're the
biggest small city in America.
Biggest small city in America, and that sense of community was there that night, and I just wish we could have played better.
Yeah. Well, you made the tournament. Congratulations, yes. And you beat your first round, San Diego.
Yes.
And then now you really got pretty well beat.
Yes.
But would you rather lose by just a hair or lose big time where it was clearly the other team was better than you that night?
I'd only rather win. I don't really, you have to have amnesia when it comes to losing. You have to get over it and go on.
Now talk about the momentum of volleyball, because, I've been to many of the games, as you know, or watch them, and there seems to be a palpable shift after some key play, key block, key ace. The momentum seems to shift, and does it go back and forth in the course of a game and a match?
That's interesting that you say that. I came from all other sports, and volleyball captivated me because you can go from offense to defense instantly. You counterattack instantly. It's the discipline of the court. You're talking about 6 people in a really small area, confined area. It's kind of a crazy sport because...
So baseball and football, one team has the ball, one team's up, and there's a clear demarcation between offense and defense.
Yes.
But in volleyball, it's changing
instantly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it's fast. And then the other thing is, you can't rebound it, dribble it, and shoot it. You have to pass it yourself. It can't be one person. It has to be somebody has to pass it to someone else, and someone else has to set it.
Teamwork.
The teamwork, the intricacy of it, the discipline and responsibility of it is really a coach's dream.
And sometimes it's flowing, and then sometimes you get out of joint.
I think it's important for all athletes in all sports to stay away from score and concentrate on execution and concentrate on getting control of a match. Not necessarily the score of the match, but the emotional control of a match is critically important.
Now, how explain that? What do you mean by emotional control?
When you're playing or coaching, if no matter what the score is, sometimes you're ahead and sometimes you're not. That whether you have control of the match or
really?
Not. Yeah.
So it can be 13-2 and you feel in control? Yeah. Isn't that delusional?
It is. Even if it's 13-2 and the other team is playing poorly and you're not executing, you feel no sense of control. So the idea is you can be behind and feel as though you're really still in charge of the match.
I don't get it. How can you be in charge if you're losing 13-2?
No, not 13-2. You're not in charge, but you can be. You're not in any control. But if you're 13-9 or so and you're executing well,
Okay.
then stay there and stay focused there because you're doing okay.
And the danger is that some players will get frustrated and try and go outside their proper envelope, and then that's disaster.
That's exactly right. And I tell players all the time, I don't know why they're not perfect like I was when I was a kid. You lose focus, and it's so easy to lose it. And you have to stay in the particular play, the next play.
You told me once that the most important thing to you is to have continuous improvement throughout the season. And even if you lose a game or a match, if your players have been playing better than they had in past games, that's satisfying to you. You never like to lose, but you were just playing a better team that night.
This year, we improved every week.
Really?
Yeah, every week. And so the test of any athlete is start with what you're given and see what you come out at the end in sense of accomplishment. And so how do you improve?
As both an individual athlete and as a team, or both?
Yes,
or
all. If you improve individually, you automatically, by definition, the team's going to get better. And so any judgment, any way to judge your performance or any sense of accomplishment is growth. So if we grow as this year goes on, if we get noticeably better, you improve, that's all you can ask for an athlete.
Is that more important than the win-loss record to you?
Much more important.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. You will win. If you do things right, you will win, most of the time. There's some things that are out of your control, but your improvement is in your control. So given that you work on that every day, generally, things take care of themselves.
Fascinating. So work on improvement each game as the season goes along, and the numbers, the win-loss record will follow.
Yeah, every practice, every day.
Okay. We'll be back with more of this great show after these messages.
At the Port of Long Beach, we're not only delivering jobs, smart ideas, and forward-thinking environmental initiatives. We're also delivering opportunity for all of Southern California. Oh, and a clearer horizon line. To learn more, go to POLB.com. The Port of Long Beach, thinking outside the docks.
There's a world of opportunity available through the College of Continuing and Professional Education at Cal State Long Beach. Does your career involve legal work, law enforcement, fraud investigation, or crime scene analysis? You can increase your skill level and enhance your career by enrolling in the Basic Applied Forensic Science and Crime Analysis Certificate Program. For more information, contact the College of Continuing and Professional Education at Cal State Long Beach.
We're back with the winningest coach in Long Beach State history, Brian Gimmillaro. Coach, let's talk about diversity. We live in a diverse city. Our campus is among the most diverse in America. Speak to the issue of diversity as it affects your players.
Well, we've talked about this before, and there's something really strong about one culture. My own family background, when they came to this country, they were with their culture, and then it was strong, and it helped with their identity, and then it moved on and assimilated into society, and I believe that that's good. But the strength and the possibility of various cultures working together is unlimited. I think we've always had a ethnically diverse team, and I've always been proud of that. And, in 1989, when we won our first championship, it was the first women's volleyball team that won an NCAA championship with more than one woman of color on the team. And we had 5 women of color starters. And that was, I was very proud of that.
And I think you mentioned when we discussed this previously that aside from wanting to win for the team, there was an attitude of wanting to shine for that particular cultural group.
Yeah, I learned so much from it. I saw that there was such strength. I like we all have a sense of pride, and it comes from somewhere in our family. One source of our pride comes from somewhere in the family, and I like players to get in touch with that, whether it's a mom or a grandmother or a father or grandfather or brother or sister, that identifies that sense of cultural pride. And when they can bring that to me and I can learn from that and we can bring it to each other and share, there's a sense of strength that's hard to beat.
You have such a wonderful job. You recruit, of course, vigorously. That's an important part of your job. And meeting the gals and their parents and trying to convince them to come to Long Beach State. You have to sell yourself, obviously. I think who the coach is an important determinant of where students go.
Yeah, I really enjoy parents. I think that over time we've gotten away from the enjoyment and the understanding that the parents are the real center and focus of young people. The parents have the best interest of those kids at heart, and to understand the kid, I call them kids, understand the athlete better is to really understand the parents, and I think it's very important, and I embrace it and I enjoy it.
And the parents, you being the kind of person you are, the parents are placing this valued asset, this daughter that has choices, and they're turning her over to you.
That's exactly it. You hit it right on the head. The most precious commodity they have, and sometimes you'll get a family with a very powerful dad or mom who suddenly, in this area, they really don't have power. With the most important thing to them, their daughters, they don't have power.
And you get some pushback?
Yeah, and so there's a sense that they're really turning over their most important thing to me, and I'm going to be involved in their lives for a long period of time. And I think that's a very important decision, and it's an important responsibility for me.
Let's talk about ethics. I know how important that is to you. And you do more than coach volleyball. You coach principles of living.
I think that the purpose of collegiate sports, or any sports, youth sports, or any of those.
Generate money for the university.
No.
Okay.
There is an image that goes on, and it's an important image. But that image needs to be, we have to have the responsibility of reflecting that image of our university through athletics. That's an important responsibility because it gets a great deal of publicity. But what you do, what the purpose of athletics is to teach responsibility, discipline, moral character, develop a sense of pride, develop a sense of confidence, so that there's a sense of presence about the young woman when they're done, finish playing, that athletics can bring about. And that's what it's about. And if you do those things right, you'll be successful.
And those principles are part and parcel of what you do. And also, I know academic success is stressed throughout the university, and they rate these things, and our athletes, not just in volleyball, but throughout the program, have a very high standing of academic success compared to other universities?
The people I work with, I want them to achieve academically at the same level, meaning that if they're outstanding academically, let's get a little bit better than that. If they're going to work really hard and be successful, let's get to that. When you said that, when you were saying that, I thought of one of our players. One of our players came back this year and gave us a team building project, and she just received her PhD, and she's a psychologist, clinical psychologist, and came back and did a team building, and I thought it was kind of neat. And then we've had some great success. We had another player just called in the NCAA playoffs, and she's finishing her residency. And 2 years ago, we had 6 players get their masters, and
that's great.
It's but I'm lucky to be able to work with that.
Well, and you're working with bright and often quite attractive young ladies that are great athletes. I mean, what a great environment to wake up and go to work each day.
All the women on our team are very attractive to me. They're beautiful. They bring a sense of beauty to the university and the people around them. So they all look like that to me.
Okay, on that very positive note, we'll take our pause and be back with more of the discussion with the coach after these messages.
How do you like your chances the rest of the way?
I got no idea. But I do know that if we stay with Naples Rib Company, at least we won't go hungry.
Coach, what do you think about some of those questionable calls tonight?
Yeah, but if you want a sound call, I'd call Naples Rib Company. You can't miss on that call.
Then Naples Rib Company is part of your game plan?
There really is nothing more motivating than a great barbecue meal at Naples Rib Company.
Victory or not, Naples Rib Company, great game plan.
Founded in 1976, Polly's Gourmet Coffee is Southern California's most complete gourmet coffee store. Polly's has the best tasting coffee, freshly roasted every day right in the store, plus a wide selection of teas, an in-house bakery, espresso bar, patio dining, and more. We also offer Wi-Fi, free internet access for all of our customers. Our nationwide clientele agree when it comes to coffee, there's only one name to remember, Polly's. 4606 East 2nd Street, welcoming you into Belmont Shore.
When I was a boy growing up in Italy, I had a dream to own my own store. I came to the United States and I worked hard as a tailor. Hi, I'm Umberto. I've been in Long Beach since 1960, carrying the finest quality men's clothing. Italy's a long way away, but styles are just around the corner. Umberto, 2141 Bellflower, Long Beach.
When you have enough internet speed for everyone in your home, Mom can video chat with Grandma. Your daughter can check her favorite sites. Your son can conquer the galaxy, and you'll still have enough bandwidth to conquer your first warrior pose.
I'm all right.
As you further energize your back, drop.
Get internet speed starting at 60 megabits per second with Charter Spectrum. Where will it take you?
We are back with women's volleyball coach Brian Gimmillaro. In this up close and personal segment, we want to ask a few more questions of the coach, but before doing that, let me tick off a few of his incredible statistics. 27th appearance in the NCAA tournament this past fall. He's led the 49ers to 3 NCAA championships, 8 Final Fours, and 27 tournament appearances. And the 1998 team with the famed Misty May was the first team in Division I volleyball history to finish the entire season undefeated, not losing one match, 36-0, and of course went on to win the 3rd national championship. And Misty is still at the top of her game.
Oh, yeah, Misty's wonderful.
And she comes back to our university.
Sure. This is her school. This is her home.
Yeah. And this is your home, too. I mean, it's no secret that you've been offered coaching positions at several times what you're making here to coach elsewhere. Why do you stay here?
Well, first, I got an opportunity for my kids to go to school in Long Beach, the public school system in Long Beach, and and it was wonderful. I mean, the community spirit here is like no other. You know, just this past year, I realized that how many places that you have an urban setting, a suburban setting, an urban setting, where you have a university that still has a community base of support. You know, it's a very unusual situation where you live in a situation, a city life, where you have the people in the city are the supporters of that university. Suburban. Now, you can go to other suburban universities and their support comes from out of the area. But much of our support is right within the area. And that's a beautiful thing to me. I have a sense of community. I'm treated so well. My family's always been treated well. I love this community, and so I stay.
And you're from New York, so from a very different community.
Yeah, well, I was from a little town in the Adirondack,
upstate.
Yeah. But no, this is a wonderful place. Plus, the beauty of the area and the weather and the...
So you have your values right. The dollar isn't everything in life. In fact, it's not the most important thing by a long shot.
It's not the most important thing.
Let's talk about what's important in life.
Well, I think that professional and family success. I mean, I've always been a family guy. My kids are the most important thing to me. So this allowed me to live close to my professional work. And it allowed me to be with them more than the normal professional man. So that was wonderful for me.
So you were very fortunate in finding a career where you're obviously very, very good,
mm-hmm.
and finding a home here at Long Beach State that supports you.
Yeah, I've always been an educator, and I think that one of the great educational spots is to be able to work with people for 4 years in a very close setting. Coaching is a great educational opportunity, and that's the best part about it.
What would you like to tell young people who are watching about life?
Oh, well, there's a question.
In 2 minutes or less.
Let me say one more thing about the university. I want to say something. This was really touching. At the end of the match where we lost, and we mentioned that at the NCAA tournament, my first email at the end of the match, within 20 minutes after the match, my first email was from our president. And our president, who's new, said to us, and the email was quick, it said, "Tough loss, how can I help?" And
nice.
How nice is that?
And you have a long list of responses for that.
Well, you know,
starting with budget and going on.
No, I didn't respond. And I didn't respond on purpose because she helped by just writing that email. That email was very touching, and a sense of community about that was great. What I would say to young people is focus on things. Realize that everything has a journey and a process, and anything good is going to be difficult. Realize that anything good you have to work for, but it's worth working for anything good. The process, one of our players called it the struggle, and in a very, very positive term. The struggle to be good at something is the beauty of it. And it doesn't always mean it's up. There's a lot of downs to the struggle, but if it's worthwhile, then do it.
And it's a metaphor for life, because life is a struggle.
And that's what sports needs to be about.
And it's a lesson that can change lives. It does change lives.
Yes, it does change lives.
It does change lives.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back with the rest of our show after these messages.
Phil Trainees mixes California style with continental cuisine that includes fresh seafood from around the world. Since Phil is the chef, the menu has a wide variety of pastas, salads, soups, and appetizers that feature his unique personal touch. And the Italian-American signature dishes are simply beyond delicious. You never know who you're going to run into at Trainees, from the famous sports legends on the Wall of Fame to local celebrities having a drink at the bar. For the best fine dining experience, visit Phil Trainees.
At Performance Plus Tire, you'll find we carry Toyo tires. For over 50 years, Toyo has been a world leader in the development of high-quality tires. Optimum performance, safety, and a comfortable ride. That's what makes Toyo tires great. And now come into Performance Plus Tire for a great deal on these Toyo tires. Proxys ST, Open Country AT, and Proxys 4. Toyo tires, driven to perform. Come in today and we'll install new Toyo tires on your vehicle while you wait. Performance Plus Tire on Cherry Avenue, 1 mile north of the 405 in Long Beach.
There's a world of opportunity available through the College of Continuing and Professional Education at Cal State Long Beach. Would you like to move ahead in the field of human resources and personnel management? Sign up for the Human Resources Management Certificate Program. You'll learn how to expand your knowledge and skills and advance in this dynamic industry. For more information, contact the College of Continuing and Professional Education at Cal State Long Beach.
You've been planning this moment for a long time. It couldn't be a more perfect moment. And you have the perfect ring that will tell her, I want to love you forever. But nothing is perfect.
Don't listen to that guy. He got the ring at McCarty's.
McCarty's makes a moment.
I think Long Beach State and our city are very fortunate to have a man of the caliber of Brian Gimmillaro coaching. He's been here for 30 years, coaching young women to understand the importance of the struggle and how to be successful in life. So thank you for that, Brian. Let me mention also that he has been inducted into the American Volleyball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Congratulations on that. We have a minute or two. Just speak to whatever you want.
Well, I enjoy what you do. I think it's really it's a community service. You bring people from this community to really talk about it, and I appreciate that. It's what makes a community is the people in it who care about it. And you've always, in 23 years, you've been able to bring forward a lot of people that I appreciate that are part of this community, and I'm interested in hearing what they have to say. And so thank you.
Thank you so much for that. And now it's time to go out and beat the pavement for recruits for next year.
Every day. We recruit every day. We want them to know that this is a great city and a wonderful university. And I'm hoping that one day, we're pretty close to 100,000 graduates, right?
We have 230,
100,000 in the area.
Oh, the area, yeah.
100,000. Just think, and I know it's coming, because now we're 65 years. I know it's coming. But once that 100,000 local, Southern California graduates unite behind this university, then we're going to be stronger than anyone else.
Absolutely. And I know our president, Jane Connolly, is really focused on a major fundraising effort, and you could be the spokesperson for part of that effort easily. So
thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Art.
And thank you at home for being our guest. Please be with us next week for the next edition of Straight Talk. Good night, everyone.
Straight Talk has been brought to you by the Port of Long Beach, the Press Telegram, and Scan Health Plan. And remember, Straight Talk is viewable 24/7 at straighttalktv.com.